So, before I tell you guys what's about to happen, which everybody thinks they already know, okay? Let me tell you what has already happened, what you can expect to happen, and how it happens. Because I'm going to explain that. Because a lot of people I saw tweeting over the weekend and looking for things were, I think, a bit confused or not knowledgeable of the entire situation, or just depressed and looking to depress a whole lot of people with them. Which, at this point, nobody should be depressed, because you're about to get paid. So that doesn't make sense. So, what happens with Iraq's budget, guys, so you understand it, is the same thing that happened with our budget. Our budget had to get approved by the House, then the Senate, and then President Biden had to sign off on it. Well, guess what? Their budget has to get approved by the Finance Committee, which it already did. They sent it to the House, which says they're going to vote tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if they do, but that's what they're saying. The holdup is being that the Finance Committee changed some of the articles that go to Kurdistan, and it wasn't what they agreed on before they even took the vote, when they were setting up the government, which was their percentage, what kind of what bank account the money was going to go in that's coming from the oil, and how Iraq gets their Kurdistan gets their $4 billion a month. So there was 12 paragraphs, 6 they left alone, 6 they said that we need to make some changes to. So with that, even though the Finance Committee already approved the budget, the House hadn't approved it. Just so it's clear to you. It's just like, even though our Congress approved the budget, the Senate hasn't approved it yet. That's the process that they're going through right now. Now, every single day, they come out and say, we have an agreement, but they haven't taken the vote. Well, we only have a couple things left to do. We've agreed on the majority of things. It's going to go through, even today and yesterday. They're saying the budget could be voted on in 2 hours, because that's as long as it takes for us to sit down and have an agreement. Why? Because we agreed to everything. We just haven't transferred the money. And that's what they said, well, once we transfer the money, we can go vote. But they haven't transferred the money. Even though they're saying they've agreed to, they haven't. So today they're talking about giving Kurdistan 4 billion dinars no later than Friday. Even if they have to give it to them as a loan to come out the budget, they're saying. But the budget's supposed to be done by then. But that has been an issue, or what they were using as an issue to delay the budget, which they've intentionally been delaying, and they told everybody this whole thing could be over with in 2 hours. But it's not. So, once again, all the articles are saying, okay, Kurdistan is going to get the share that we agreed on. We've agreed on a bank account to put it into that both of us can live with, and we're going to pay the money. So tentatively, today, there's a meeting at the framework at somebody's house this afternoon, meeting of the framework. There's a vote scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow if they go through with it. 1 o'clock. Well, what happens if they have the vote and they go through with it? Because this is part I don't think people understand. It still has to go to Sudan, to the Prime Minister. Just like the House approved it, the Senate approved it, well, it's not law till Biden signed off. He still has to sign off. You know, But we're one step closer, and all of it could happen in a matter of hours. If they do it on Tuesday and they vote and they pass it and they give it to him, he could sign it on Wednesday, put it in the Gazette, and it could be law, and everything is where everything we need it. Now we're just waiting for the rate. Will the rate come out that same day, 2 days later? It come out anytime because CBI already has the rate. They were waiting for them to do what they need to do. What was Iraq waiting for? I told you the other day. They were waiting to see if the U.S. was going to destroy the global economy. Well, we got past that, right? Biden signed it on Saturday. But he had up until today to do it. But he signed it on Saturday. He didn't wait. They're saying their meeting scheduled for tomorrow at 1 o'clock, which we hope they go through with it, since they said it only takes 2 hours. Then we have to see, what does Sadani do? Does he do it Wednesday and put it in the Gazette? Or does he do it Saturday and put it in the Gazette? That's the stuff we don't know yet. But we're that close to their budget being done with the rate, with all their projects able to start, with money flowing everywhere, because that's what's going to happen. Money's flowing everywhere just as soon as the budget is done, authorizing them to release all the money. So the only thing we wait for is the rate change. So hopefully everybody can understand that, because I try to lay it out all the time. I try to tell you step by step. I think some people just aren't paying attention and they're only hearing what they want to hear. The reality is this could happen at any time. Now, over in Iraq, they thought it was going to happen 4 o'clock yesterday. When Forex opened, they were supposed to see a rate if everything else got done, but it didn't get done. So Forex is now open. The rate could come out. CBI is not going to do the rate until they're absolutely sure that these idiots are going to do what they're supposed to do, which is pass the budget. Because we all know Saddam's going to sign off on it, and why wouldn't he? He's been fighting for it the whole time. He keeps telling them to hurry up and send it to him so we can get this done, because the other countries are waiting to come in and get business started. So we're down to the next 24 hours to see if they do that part, and then we can go to the bank. We hope they're going to flip the rate. So we're down to the next 24 hours to see if they do that part, and then we can go to the bank. We hope they're going to flip the rate. So I keep saying Iraq is already international because their cards work internationally. They can go to 90 different countries right now and use their cards. So when they flip the rate, what's going to change? Nothing but the rate. They're still going to go to those same 90 countries. Only thing that's going to happen is it goes back on Forex. Now it's tradable in the market, and we get to go to the bank. Because now the banks can exchange it at that rate. The bank can exchange the dinar today. You guys don't know it. They can exchange at the old rate today, and CBI has been doing it the entire time. I got some people who went to CBI and bought dinar just last week. They have been selling and buying the entire time. Everybody else is going to get back in the market when the rate changes. Yes, they have a rate on their screen. Some people have made the mistake of exchanging people when they came in. And I tell you, they got fired for doing it. But the rate was on their screen, and it was live, or they wouldn't have been able to exchange it. So we know it's sitting there waiting for us. We just got to get to it. Our banks that were supposed to work over the weekend, they were told to go home on Saturday, so they didn't actually work Sunday. But they were also told everything was still on schedule. It was still going to happen. It just didn't happen Saturday or Sunday. Are they fully expecting it this week? Yes, they are. They're still expecting it this week. We're still expecting it this week. But what has to happen? They have to take the vote at 1 o'clock, like they said, or sooner. He has to sign off. Now, this is something you guys got to really understand, and I've been telling for years. They give us a window of time that we should be able to see it if everything goes right. They even tell us the steps, but it's all based on if everything goes right. And the biggest factor is they're not telling us, me and you. They're telling their people. They're telling people that are involved. Some of them are just giving us the information that nobody else out there walking the streets even knows about, has a clue about. So we're a little ahead of the game. That's why we're being able to participate the way we are. So we're in a good spot. I will tell you guys that it was reinforced to me a little while ago, because I hadn't heard it for months, but that the bank is supposedly going to exchange the ZIM. Now, I'm waiting for another confirmation. Before, even last year, the guy told us they were going to exchange the ZIM. And he told me, get in as fast as you can, because it's going to be a limited time that they're going to exchange the ZIM. But it looks like they will, and at a very good rate. Very good. So if you have it, be thankful that you did. If you don't, make sure you got Dinar and Don. So I know there's a contract rate out there for the Dinar that people are going to be able to get. I know some people don't want the contract rate because they didn't want to sign the NDA, which I still think you do. Because I got a guy, he actually only took $12 for his Dinar because he negotiated to get a higher rate on his other currency. That's how he negotiated. Things to think about, scenarios to go through your head. More importantly, be ready. So,
7MMSTW says, with the budget being reviewed so many times prior to voting, the new rate should be exposed as so many have read it. I'm concerned the current rate is in it. Are you?
I'm concerned that what's in it?
The current rate is in the budget because so many people are seeing it in advance.
Okay. So many people have seen the budget in advance, just like ours. But the budget is based on their current rate. That's what it's based on when they're doing it, voting on it, everything else. The rate will change probably immediately after it's approved now, that's what they're saying. And they'll make their adjustment. That's why they want everybody to go on the electronic system. Because they'll just adjust the rates. And it will come right out. Everybody's card. They're not worried about anybody getting caught up in transactions in the store or the internet, anything else. It will change for everybody at the same time. Now, the CBI could go in once the House votes on it. Finance Committee, House, said, okay, he's waiting for Donnie. What time is he going to do it? It's going to go in the Gazette at 5 o'clock. We're going to change the rate to 3:30. I don't know. CBI has the rate and can change it whenever they want to. They don't have to wait on the budget. They just decided that's what they were going to do. Wait for the budget so it wouldn't confuse everything. Now, do some people know what the rate's going to be that CBI is holding? Of course they do, because I've told you several times already. It's going to be 1-to-1 over there. It's going to be 381 1 on Forex. So a lot of inside people know. You guys, listening right now, have more information about the currency than Iraqi citizens do. You know how it's going to work more than they do, and you know what the rate, international rate, is going to be more than they do. They know what their rate in country, which is what most of them are concerned about, all concerned about, is going to be from $1 to $1.50. They already know that. They're just waiting for it to go through also.
Thank you. I've been listening. I've been dealing with this a long time, but heard something the other day from you guys that I heard just a little tidbit of it, and I didn't hear it all. I was trying to figure out what it actually is and hear it again. But and that goes to the maximum amount or the amount that we can get on contract. Meaning, is dinar limited to 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, or is dong limited to a certain amount for the contract rate? I heard something about that, but I just needed clarification on it.
Okay, Ray gonna tell you.
I missed part of the question. I had to reconnect.
He want to know
Okay,
what the contract rates with the currencies.
20 million is the last thing we had for the dinar, was the limit. You said you want to know what the rate. The rate was 28.50.
No.
Just what,
No, I don't. I'm not worried about the rate. I just want to know the amount the rate that you can get for the advanced rate, for the contract rate.
Right.
I'm
20 million, 50 million
20 million.
on the dong. Okay.
50 million. So is that per person? Because, you know, like if I go in with my wife, can I have 100 million in the dong?
No, you and your wife are one.
Oh, we are one. Okay.
if you're filing jointly, if you're doing right, that's going to be
well,
one.
if you contract rate, she has to sign.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
contract. So that's right.
Yeah.
So I have power of attorney for her. Will that be able to be signed? Will I be able to sign using power of attorney papers? I want her on everything I got. I mean, I'm not trying to circumvent anything. I mean, hey, she's going to be on everything I got. I just didn't know.
It'll still make you as one. You just doing it where she doesn't have to be present if she's giving you power of attorney, but you're still going to be considered as one, the two of you.
And that's what he wants anyway. So you should be all right. Yep.
So what happens to any dong over 50 million?
You'll get a lower rate.
They just get a lower rate. Okay.
Yeah.
So would it be smarter to do me as one individual and then have her go as one individual?
No,
you can't get contract rate because you have to sign together for the contract rate. They're going to consider you one.
Okay. So we're considered one no matter what, whether she was to go one day and I was to go the next day. We're still considered one.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
If you're getting the contract, if you're getting individual rate. Go ahead. What did you say, Ray?
I just said right. That was it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And is there? Do you have a contract rate? I mean, an amount for the boulevard? A maximum amount, for the contract rate on the boulevard, or is there not one really? There isn't one. Never mind. I knew the answer to that. I already know the answer to that. There's not a contract rate.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sir.
You have a blessed day. Thank you.
Okay, guys, listen. The max you can get on contract rate for the dinar is 20 million. Is what we've been told. The max you can get on the higher rate for the dong is 50 million. Is what we have been told. Everybody can hear me say that clearly. That's what we've been told for years. Once this thing goes live, we will get with our bank contacts, and I will ask them again, and I'll try and come out and tell you this is what they're looking at on the screen right now, and we'll try to update that. All right?
Okay. You answered one of my questions right at the beginning of the call, but you just said something. You said it is still on schedule, but everything that's going on, what is on schedule actually?
I don't know. whatever schedule they had. Like they said, guys, we're not going to know the exact moment in time. Right now, what we know, it was supposed to be Sunday after Forex opens. They expected the rate to change and everything to be done. Well, that's because they were supposed to do the vote on Saturday and put it in the Gazette. So neither one of those happened. What's the next opportunity? Wednesday, Thursday? I don't know. They just said it's still on schedule. That means it hasn't stopped. There's nothing holding it up. We're still moving forward.
Okay, that's good news. We're going to wait for the weekend for our 57th wedding anniversary. And do you think this would happen before, after, during?
Okay. I don't know. We're given a window of time. It's when they project for it to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. Right now, if they vote tomorrow, we're looking for it by Friday. That's all I can tell you. I try to be upfront with you guys. I'm not trying to sell you anything or give me hope or wishes. I mean, shoot, I needed it to be done today because I'm tired tomorrow. But here I don't
blame you. Okay, two more questions. One is, you answered the question about the ZIM. They get in within the first 10 days. But you also said good rate. Are you kind of hinting that it's going to be more than 11 cents being a good rate?
More than 11 cents, yes.
Okay, and my last question is, I live on an island about away from Malta in 206, and we have a small Wells Fargo here. Would they get a memo also, even though they probably won't be part of the exchange, would they get a memo also like the banks that are going to be doing the exchange, do you think?
No, because they're not exchange location. And you guys remember years ago when Wells Fargo first became the foundation bank, they let their banks or regions decide if they want to opt in or opt out, participate in this. So every Wells Fargo bank does not participate in this.
Well, you answered my questions, and again, thank you, Tony, for the going through that you go through, and thank you, Ray, for all your patience and time. I'm out. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
I'm good. Trying to stay all excited from the call we had Friday. Just trying to keep that same, environment. So, Tony, let me ask you about the ZIM while it's still on my mind. So, will all the banks be accepting the ZIM, or will we be going to maybe one or two? Everybody, regardless of who we choose, they'll be accepting it?
I don't know that. I don't.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I only know one bank I think two banks that are going to accept it right now that I know because they've already accepted it from people. So I can't tell you if I'm going to.
Okay. And as far as the budget getting to Sudani, once they finish voting on it and all that stuff, and he signs it, do we know or do you feel confident that he's going to sign it right away? I mean, I know what they're saying, but, of course, everything is fluid, constantly changing in this process. So do you feel confident that he's going to sign it right away, or it may have to wait for that process as well?
Well, he has 15 days to sign it or reject it. But the fact that he is constantly saying, let's get the budget done, let's get it done, it's holding up our country, everything else, I think he will sign it as soon as he gets it.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Right. And what is the mood of the U.S. banks here? What are their moods? Are they still excited like they were last week, or?
They are. They even told them over the weekend, said we're still on schedule. We are still on schedule.
Okay.
So they're still waiting for it. Mm-hmm.
And the last question is, your market and trader people the same way? The market guys and all of them? They're still excited?
Everybody is. They said we've reached the point of no return. So we're just waiting for it to happen. And you guys know, I mean, Saturday was a big deal because Biden didn't wait until Monday to sign it. He signed it on Saturday. So that could alleviate everybody's concerns, and let's move forward. So hopefully this week we're moving forward.
Right. So really, so Iraq is really the ones that's holding it up with this budget thing. Because wasn't June 9th a significant date for some reason that's sticking in my mind? Was there something about the date of June 9th that they were trying to get to?
Yeah, Parliament is supposed to go on recess on June the 9th. And that's why initially they said this is going to be done on June the 8th on Saturday. Then they said, no, we're going to vote Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We're not even going to wait till Friday. We're just going to go ahead and vote and pass it on. Because everybody was saying, well, listen, you guys not going on vacation June the 9th. If it's not done, we're automatically going to extend you. So they're just trying to get it done before their vacation was scheduled.
Okay. All right. Well, those are my questions. I guess we wait and see. I know I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready.
Me too.
So